매주 화제의 인물을 스튜디오에 모시고 이야기를 나눠보는 시간이죠. 단 한 번의 노래로 휴대전화 판매원에서 세계적인 스타가 된 인생역전의 주인공, 오페라 가수 폴 포츠 씨 나오셨습니다. Paul, welcome to our studio. This is your first time appearing on a Korean news program, right?
I've done lots of different Korean TV programs. I think this probably is the first time I've been on a Korean news program. I'm not certain.
Okay. Now, your incredible life story has been made into a movie, and there's also a book out that you wrote, One Chance, that's out in Korean right now. How does it make you feel to have this movie and this book and everything?
It feels kind of surreal. I mean, I've been doing what I love doing now for the last 7 years, and I'm incredibly fortunate to be in that position. But to find a film out and have written a book is not something I would have thought would have happened 7 years ago.
7 years ago, right. It's only been 7 years ago. I'm sure things have really changed for you. But the movie, you saw the movie, obviously. Did you like it?
I've seen it several times. I love the movie. I love how it doesn't take itself too seriously.
Oh.
It's important to laugh. Yeah, I love the movie, and I think James Corden's done a great job of playing me, and you'll hear my voice throughout the movie.
You're singing. Right. The real Paul Potts and the fictional, I mean, not the fictional, but the Paul Potts in the movie, how similar are they?
They're not too off. They're not too far off. I mean, I'm even more clumsy than
Really?
than it's demonstrated in the movie. For example, just today, I mean, I managed to spill a full big jar of soy sauce all over me.
Really?
Put it down, it just flew everywhere. And
Well,
the
it's a
white
good omen.
shirt's now brown.
Okay. Well, that's a good omen, they say here. Now, the most dramatic scene in the movie has to be your first appearance on Britain's Got Talent. But on the actual day, you had your head to one side and you didn't look very satisfied. Why was that?
I actually didn't think I'd perform that well.
Oh.
I had too much tension, and I never believed that I would actually even perform. And when I performed, I didn't think it was good enough. So I didn't think I was going to go any further. For me, I thought that this would be the very last time I'd ever perform, and
Really?
I felt that I'd let myself down. I'd literally only entered on the basis of a flipped 10-pence piece.
Yes, that's right. I mean, it was all by chance. Yeah, tell us a little bit more about that.
Well, I was sat at home doing work. I was a manager of a mobile phone store at the time, and I was doing my emails, reporting back to my superiors. And I got a pop-up window, and I tried to cancel it. And instead
Like we
of
all
cancelling
do.
it, I maximised it by mistake.
Oh.
And it was the application for Britain's Got Talent. And I filled it in, and then I caught my reflection in my laptop, and I thought, well, why on earth would they pick you? You're too fat, you're too old, you do the wrong kind of music, and you've got such a great face for radio. Why would they pick you? And so in the end, I minimised it for a while and decided to go back to it. But I knew that because the entries were due to shut that night, I had to make a decision. So in the end, I got a 10-pence piece out and flipped a coin and decided if it landed on heads, then I'd apply. If it landed on tails, then I'd cancel it.
But what got you into opera music in the first place?
I first started listening to classical music as a result of watching E.T., that great Stephen Williams score. You know, it was John Williams. What am I saying? Stephen Williams. That great John Williams score, and I felt so involved in it that I felt like that I wanted to be part of it. And
How old were you?
I was about 9 or 10 at the time. And I then started listening to more and more classical music. Then I found a recording of Jose Carreras singing La Bohème, and then that was me hooked.
That was when you were 9 or 10?
I was about 13,
13.
when I started listening to opera. But from about 9 or 10, I started listening to things like Dvorak, Tchaikovsky,
Oh, okay.
and Shostakovich, and you know, there's so much beautiful music around.
I mean, was there somebody there to introduce you to that music, or did you do that of your own accord?
I really just did it by myself.
Really?
I just got hold of cheap recordings, not bad recordings, but second-hand ones. Picked up a few cassettes and started listening to it.
Now, did you always dream of this sort of fame and fortune?
I didn't really contemplate any of that. It was, I mean, I just wanted to sing, and that's all I've ever wanted to do. But I never saw a way of doing it professionally, and I didn't think that I was necessarily good enough, or whether I felt that I wanted to put myself in a position where where I would put myself open to scrutiny, because that's quite a challenging thing in itself. Because you have to be strong enough to take that, and I wasn't sure I was.
But are you strong enough now?
Sometimes.
How do you train yourself these days?
I work with an Australian singing teacher in the UK called Raymond, and we've been working quite hard over the last 6 months or so to try and make the best of what I have, and to help keep that going for as long as possible.
Now, going back to your popularity in Korea, why do you think you're so popular here?
I don't know. You'd have to ask the people. It's such a beautiful country. I love returning here, and this is my 11th or 12th time here, and I've been to something like 15 or 16 cities here in Korea, from Busan in the south to Gumgyang and Sokcho in the northeast. And it's just so beautiful. And you've got the mountains, you've got the sea. It's a great coastline, and you've got vibrant cities like Busan and Seoul, and Incheon, and there's so much history here as well, and the people are some of the friendliest and the most warm people I've met anywhere in the world.
Now, they say fame changes a person. Are you a changed man now, Paul? And what does your wife say about that?
Well, my wife describes me as the same pain in the neck I've always been. So I haven't changed at all. I think in life, you have to be you, no matter what life throws at you. It was a poet called Rudyard Kipling. He's more famous for the Jungle Book than anything else. But he wrote a poem called If. And there's a section in that poem where he says, when you meet with triumph and disaster, treat those two imposters just the same. And it's a really important lesson, because triumph and disaster aren't you know, they're not real entities. They're things you go through, and you can't allow that to affect who you are as a person. You have to be you, regardless. So
you've got that inside you that keeps you going in the right direction.
Yeah, I've always lived by that poem, even as a child, and the whole poem's quite a long one, but it's got some important lessons in it.
All in all, Paul, would you say you're happier than you were 7 years ago, before all this fame and celebrity?
I'm doing what I love, and I'm coming to wonderful places like here in Korea. So yes, I'd say I am, and it's because I feel more complete as a person, because I'm doing what I love doing.
Lucky you.
I'm very fortunate.
Yes, yes. Could I ask you to say a couple of words to our JTBC viewers?
안녕하세요. Thank you so much for the support you've given me over the last 7 years. It's been incredible to keep coming back to a beautiful country with wonderful people.
All right, we look forward to the book, the movie, and the best of luck to you then, Paul. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.